Station, everybody. Welcome, Supreme Clientele, episode 48, your weekly comic book breakdown show. Apologies last week for the internet outage, and my boy, shout out to my boy Link for holding it down. I apologize for the abrupt cutoffs and everything going on. Lost internet for about 20 minutes here with the power outage, but we got it back. But we're gonna get to a couple comics we wanted to get to last week, but regardless, I appreciate y'all hanging in both last week and this. Welcome to Supreme Clientele, everybody. We're almost at 50. We'll be celebrating 1 year next week. I hope y'all, if you're watching either live or on the rewind, y'all come through next week and celebrate with us 1 year of Supreme Clientele with my boy Link. Let me give it up to my co-host, man. Link, how are you doing tonight, bro? Good to see you. Thank you for joining me, man. How's your week been?
It's been good. It's finally here. We'll get to that in a minute, but last week I just for those who had probably heard me reverberate a few times on like Verno's stream and Robbie's over the last week, but I was talking for like a good 30-45 seconds when you came. I was like, oh, Stu's back on. Hell yeah. I just kept going on a rant, and then like the stream ended. I was like, oh shit, Stu's gone.
My bad, dude.
No, but no, it's
I had 1 bar of service, and I was like, we were trying to figure out how to end the show, right? Because Link is not able to end the show without like the StreamYard credential. So I was trying to figure out how to get back in here and cut the broadcast off. And yeah, I was completely in the dark with 1 bar of service, so I thought it's a better idea just to But dude, I like I told Verno, like Verno said, he was like, at first you were fumbling, but then you found your groove. When I came back in, you were like, yeah, and issue 3 was like, you were really on your shit. You found your rhythm, and like I felt that. For dropping the hammer on you, bro.
That point, bro, because I was like, oh shit, Stu's gone. So I was kind of like a deer in headlights at first, but I was like, all right, just start talking, but yeah, I was just trying to fill in space, so I didn't want to lose the episode, because I've done that before. It's like where we stream and the host leaves and then the episode's lost to the sands of time. It was worth saving.
Yeah, man, absolutely, always. Oh yeah, we got about an hour in, and we covered at least half of the books that we wanted to cover, so a success nonetheless. But yeah, I appreciate you holding it down, bro. Station, man. Let's get to the chat real quick before we get into it tonight. Of course, we got our boy E in the place to be. E Station, man. Rogue in the house. Rogue, what up, man? Y'all make sure you're following Rogue on Instagram. One of the sharpest comic book minds out there, man. Such a great collection as well. Shout out to homie Rogue. Our boy Warren, who made his I believe his YouTube debut this past weekend on Fables One Collection Down UK Ireland Massive. So shout out to Warren for that appearance. Hell yeah, bro. Great show. Yeah, great show. Absolutely. We're playing Fable and his amazing friends last Sunday. Actually, my bad. Of course, we got our boy Fable in the house. Fable Station, bro. I think that's about it so far. Yeah. So thank y'all for coming through. Hope everybody's having a good week at this halfway point. Good Wednesday. I'm, of course, Rogue, man. You're the man, bro. Yeah, it's been a crazy week for me. So I've been at home all week with the kids. Jess is out of town at bank school in Charlottesville. So like I'm off work, but I'm also at home with the boys. And to kind of like complicate matters further, I lost my help. Like Ella went to stay with grandma for a good portion of this week, right? And Ella is my right hand man. Ella's my dog. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
She's 12 going on 20. She can handle the babysitting duties. Like, so I got no respite. Like I'm out here by myself. So I've tried to establish some rhythm, some structure within the day with the two of them. But man, it's crazy. It's like having
boundless energy.
Yeah, man. And like they're at the point now where everything's a question, and I don't want to say no or shut down that curiosity, but like, Dad, why did he turn down that road? Bro, what do you mean?
Like, I don't know.
You know what I mean? Like,
right.
A question for everything. Yeah. And like we love that curiosity, but it's hard.
You're like, I don't have the energy. I try, yeah, bro. I go through it with my kid, and you got times 2, so I know you're drained, my man.
Yeah. But it's like when I don't have that first release valve with my wife obviously being gone, and then a second, like without Ella being there, it's like it's all on Dad, and man, it's been fun but unique. Regardless though, like I gotta say they're great kids. We've soldiered through it. It's been more good than bad. So
Oh, yeah.
those are them. It's just some questions.
Bonded.
Some questions be getting.
Well, what I'll be with my kid and we'll be watching something he's got turned on and he's seen more than me, like multiple times. I've seen It'll be my first time watching it. He's asking me questions about it. I'm like, bro, you could tell me more about this movie than I could tell you. Like, come on, my
For real,
man.
dude. I can't even tell you how many times I've watched the new Godzilla and oh my god, man, so many times because they both have the toys. Like Theo got the Kong toy, and then like 2 months
Nice.
later, Henry got the Godzilla toy, and then they finally put it together. These two are in a movie together, and like it's all come full circle for them. And like in doing so, I've seen that movie way more times. And like I can like I was thinking about it today, watching it this morning for the 43rd time. I was like, I feel like we should do a show on this because I know all the intricacies of this film, and it does some things really well. It does some things horribly, but
That's
you
what
know
cool
what I
stuff.
mean? Yeah, it's good. It's got its moments. But
Are
before
you are
we
you got they on the first one or the newest one?
no, the newest one,
Okay.
man.
So my
Yeah.
kid, bro,
So
I've that movie
we got the giant Kong with the augmentation,
power.
the arm augmentation, right? And like it just grew from there. It started with the toy, and the movie hadn't come out. The movie was it was on the horizon somewhere, right? And then we brought that energy into the household. The movie came out, and then
Yeah.
like about 3 or 4 weeks ago, we're at the store and Henry sees Godzilla, and it all just like comes full circle. Like he had seen the movie, like he had seen the not the movie yet, but like the posters, and so like it was like we wanted to smash it all together. And then when they saw the movie, now we've seen the movie like 43 times in the past week or so. So yeah, it's been a lot, man. Yeah, yeah. So I always think of that Family Guy scene with Stewie where he's with Lois and he's like, "Mom, mommy, mom, mom." Like that's how it. You know what I mean? Even if the question is legit, they're just gonna hammer you until you acknowledge them. But yeah, action figures are magical. Absolutely, man. Open up whole new worlds. It's crazy how that whole thing developed from buying that Kong figure. But yeah, dude, I figure before we get into comic books, we should talk about the earth shifting event that's happening this week. Of course, Deadpool and Wolverine, and just your hopes and expectations with that. I thought we could all watch that final trailer together here in a second. If you haven't seen it or don't want to see it, you can go ahead and tune out and come back in a few. But yeah, dude, we've talked about it so many times with the the 3, 4, 5 trailers we gotten for this thing, but now that we're right here up against it, man, and we're getting generally pretty good feedback, a lot of fan service, I think, from these early reviews. But regardless, it's still pretty solid across the board, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah.
There are definitely some who kind of pick it apart, but it seems to be pretty a pretty bankable film, and that makes me happy. So I don't know, just your thoughts and hopes and expectations going into Thursdays / this weekend with the Marvel's biggest in a minute.
Um, it's hard for me not to be biased, but I'll probably love this movie just because it's got Hugh Jackman finally suiting up as Wolverine. It's integrating mutants, X-Men into like the MCU. They're doing such a callback to like the last 25 years of the Fox Marvel movies. Even if it's very brief, there are fans of that who would appreciate that, just to see those characters one more time. Like maybe they, thought we were gonna ever see Tyler Maine's Sabretooth ever again? It's
Yeah,
been he was in X-Men 1. That's it,
so
so to see
crazy.
him back in the role, that's really cool. Um, I just want this to be a fun movie. I just want, I expect it to have some cool action scenes, some good banter, just to be entertaining. I don't need it to be some game-changing, earth-shattering event. I just want it to be fun, and I think it's gonna deliver on that.
Yeah, hell yeah. Well said, dude. I think it is too. Like, I think above all else, like regardless of like all the changes it's going to make to the MCU and the homages to the Fox universe and all that, I think it's just going to be you're going to have a good time watching this movie, and that's what
Yeah,
we need to get back to. Um, I feel like a lot of the times it feels so convoluted. They're trying to either tell a story related to what's going on with society or the everyday world, or like try to string too many things together in the Marvel universe and they kind of lose their way. So I feel like this is a property that's established itself on fun, and I think that's definitely going to lead the way. And I'm excited to see that because that's what it should be, right?
Yep.
Like when you see like all your comic book loves and your favorite action sequences and characters and all that come together on screen, it should be fun above all else. It shouldn't be too complicated. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Real quick, let's take a look at the I guess the final trailer together. If y'all want to tune out, go ahead and do so. But I just want to get your thoughts on a couple things, bro.
I know I turn everything into a joke, but I care. Or I want to use that for something important. I waited a long time for this team up. In my world, you're well regarded. You were an X-Man. Fuck that, you were the X-Man. The Wolverine. He's a hero in my world.
Yeah, well, he ain't shit in mine. Scott used to beg me to wear this suit. So did Doran and Beast. But I couldn't have him thinking I wanted to be there. And it was too late.
It's only 9 people, but my entire world is right here in this picture. And I have no idea how to save it alone, but you know how to save them.
Whoever you think I am, you got the wrong guy.
Bay.
You were always the wrong guy. Till you weren't.
Are you ready?
Fuck yeah, I'm ready. I'm the Wolverine. Stop it.
Fucking fantastic. Solid final trailer, I gotta say.
Yeah.
I love all the fuck yeah, let's go energy to these
Yeah.
trailers in this movie. You know what I mean? Like we're all in one way or the other. You're gonna hate it or you're gonna love it.
I'll be honest. The first two weren't bad, but I was like, they're not really selling like the gravitas or the heaviness of the massiveness of this, that the seriousness, the epic proportions of it. But I feel like this is the trailer where they like toned down the jokes a little. The humor's still there, but they kind of gave it more of an emotional tone. There's more weight to it. It's not just all jokes and team up with banter and But no, I will admit, I will say that with the X-23 reveal, I'm torn. Wow, I love X-23, love her. Daphne Keane was amazing. Glad to see her
Yes,
back.
she was.
But
And
if she's only got that one cameo where she's kind of talking to them, and then oh, by the way, I love that scene because when they released the first trailer, they showed him like saying, "Whoever you think I am, I'm not that guy." I was like, oh, that reminds me of when he was telling X-23 that in Logan, and then he's telling X-23 the same shit in this movie, so that's cool. But if she's only in it for that one scene, and then you just ruin it in the trailer, that's why I'm hoping maybe she's got like a bigger role in the movie, because then I won't be disappointed that you ruined her surprise cameo in the final trailer a week before the movie comes out.
yeah.
But beyond that, it was well edited trailer, great trailer.
Oh yeah. Like, can we get a series or a movie for X-23 slash that character, dude?
For it.
So come on, man, that's a no-brainer to me. I feel like.
Did you know she was in Acolyte?
I did
Keane?
not. No,
She was
what?
Soul's Padawan, the one who when the Kylo Ren dude murdered all the Jedi. You watched it, right?
Yeah.
He murdered all the
one
Jedi.
with the one with the little spikes in her
Yes.
No shit. Wow, that's crazy, dude.
So she could.
Wow.
She's totally still got it for. She could do an
Yeah,
extra
absolutely.
movie.
Yeah. I like, and that was one thing I was about to say before you mentioned that. I was trying to think of things I've seen her in since then. You know what I mean? And I think she was so talented in that. And, yeah, I'm excited to see her star kind of continue to rise. So that's dope to hear. And
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
yeah, I agree with you though. I hope it's just more than a quick cameo in this, because definitely like a bunch of great stories to tell in that character, and I feel like she would be phenomenal in like a short limited series or something like really
Oh,
gritty
yeah.
and real. You know what I mean? I don't know, but with Disney, you never know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Very
it
true.
feels like they are gonna they kind of let them do their own thing. It didn't. I
And let him
haven't
go.
heard anything from these early reviews where it said. I've been reading all the spoiler free ones, but where it said like it felt restricted, or you know what I mean,
Right.
in that sense. So that's
Uh,
good to hear. How are you
yeah.
feeling about Cassandra Nova in this one, bro?
Looks. Oh, I love that scene where it was straight out of the new X-Men, where she's got like that parasite energy coming out of her and stuff.
Yeah,
That's what it dope. She looks great. I can't wait to see her in action. I have heard of minor things where it's like I heard one reference. It was vague, but it's doesn't kind of was like, oh, that sucks. But it's like another pointless villain, or a villain that well, who knows? It seems like people just want to bitch about a lot of shit these days. So.
yeah, for sure.
Um, Even when it's entertaining. Acolyte, and not to veer too off topic, like I still don't see what the people who have a problem with it. I just don't see it. Like,
It's
what's the
not.
difference?
Yeah, I don't. It's not. It's definitely not like the best Star Wars show I've ever watched, but at the same time, I don't see like enough to justify like the criticism and the outcry that it's been getting. Um, I don't know, man. It's crazy. You got to let things grow and evolve and change hands. Sometimes that's for the best, sometimes it's not. But regardless, I
Yeah.
feel like you got to roll with the ups and downs. And it's especially a property like Star Wars. You want something fresh and new, and like I understand the core fans like and their gripes with certain things not being canon or whatever, but at the same time, I feel like you got to stay out of the stagnant um
Yes.
viewpoints, man. And just because something's new and something's done in the universe you love
Warranty.
and not for you doesn't mean it's not good. You know what I mean? It
Right.
just means it's not for you.
What's
um
up?
I don't know. That's one thing I try to remind
So what's
myself
up?
of, whether it's hip hop music or movies or TV. You know what I mean? Like sometimes if it's just because it's like new and popular and everybody's digging it and you're not, doesn't mean it's bad. It means it's just not for you. So
What's
um
up?
yeah. E says bring on the mutants. Yeah, hell yeah. They're rewritten everything going forward. uh the new cat looks great, man. I love the look on the look
That suit,
on
bro.
Mackie, dude. Right? Yeah, he looks great
I
in
you
that.
know.
And that. So, how you feel about that trailer, bro? I
Oh,
didn't really have that one to you. What are you excited for that one? Or and Harrison Ford is
Hulk,
uh
Red Hulk.
Thunderbolt Ross, yeah, and all that good.
Yeah, I
How
mean,
you feel?
what? I was never really too sold on Anthony Mackie. Was fine as the Falcon, kind of annoying, but I wasn't really sold on him being that character. At the point we see him, I don't see him leading the Avengers or doing anything of proportion that Steve Rogers. Anthony Mackie Falcon and the Sam Wilson in the comics are at totally just two distinct points, like mentally. Like I can believe in Sam Wilson as Cap in the comics. Anthony Mackie doesn't really sell me on that. But maybe this movie is gonna show him earning that title.
Mm,
Um I did like how they pointed out where he's like Harrison Ford's like, you're not Steve Rogers, and he's like, you're
yeah,
right. He's gonna so I like that. So it's gonna show him like growing into his own. I was a little saddened to see the Rick Remender or the one in the comics go away that they did in Falcon and Winter Soldier towards the end with the white and the goggles. But he's got like the Winter Soldier costume that Steve
it
had,
does.
that
Yep.
shit works. It works. It's realistically people going on missions like them, they wouldn't want to be in brightly colored, hey, we can see him coming type shit, they'd want to try to be ambiguous. So the dark shit works. But we don't know. Maybe he will show up in the Winter Soldier or the all new Captain America costume at the beginning and then change his costumes halfway through or some shit. But the trailer impressed me. I gotta say, I didn't know what to expect, but it's cool to see like it trying to. It could be a bad thing, but it's giving me like Winter Soldier vibes. I don't want it to try to emulate that too much, but it's a return to form. I gotta say, between Deadpool and Wolverine and the trailer for that, like, looks like Marvel's trying to get back to on its P's and Q's. So
Yeah, I think Warren here. Harrison Ford is a bad hip, grumpy old Hulk, right? Oh, he's been going through it, man. Like that man is old. So that'll be interesting to see how they move forward with that.
you
I
right?
thought William Hurt was a great cast. R.I.P. Unfortunately, he passed away, but I thought he
I
was
think Hurt's older than William Hurt.
really. Oh, I
I
thought he
believe.
was. I thought William Hurt was younger when he died. My bad. Sal
No,
said,
no. Oh,
yeah,
I
Herman
mean,
Weaver looks good too.
Harrison Ford's older than him. It's my bad. So that's what I.
Yeah, Harrison Ford's old. Yeah, I think he's
He's
definitely like. I think William Hurt died young, relatively, at
Yeah.
least for a man of his age. But yeah, I just watched him in something the other day, and I loved him. But yeah, R.I.P. to a great actor, dude. William Hurt was great in so many roles. You know what I mean? He made so many different roles believable.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I just love that archetype he played.
Very
Played it so well.
stern.
Yeah, stern, serious, like shadowy government agent. He was all or like government, mix up. He was always good for that. But yeah, dude. So I guess we'll see. I guess my biggest hopes for it is that we get some mutant introduction.
I think
We get a great final send off for Logan's Wolverine. I really didn't think you could really do it any better than they did with Logan, but to send off Hugh Jackman as that character, I hope they do it proper and the right way. I love all these fan service comments we're getting and how it's like almost too much of a good thing. Like that sounds great.
yeah,
And I'm
I'll take
happy
that.
I can't wait to see all the Fox folks that show up and all the different cameos that we get. That'll be interesting, man. I don't know if there's like one character I'm expecting or looking for more than the other ones. I'm just
I want to see
excited to
Ben
be
Affleck as
surprised, I
Daredevil.
guess. All right, let's
Come on,
go.
that'd be brilliant, bro.
I think like nothing's off the table the way they're talking about it. You know what I mean? Like it definitely feels like it puts the fan service throttle to 1,000. So I'm here for that. And like in the right way. Like we're fans and we've been waiting for a long time for this, and especially him bringing Jackman back into the fold kind of changes things for us long time Fox MCU just Wolverine fans. So yeah, I don't know, man. It's gonna be huge. I hope it sounds like it's gonna deliver for the most part, so that makes me happy. Great momentum moving forward into the next year. This next year is going to be the biggest, really, I think, year for superhero movies that we've had in quite some time with Superman and Fantastic Four and everything going out. You know what I mean? I feel like Marvel and DC are really gonna have to drop their flag in the sand, so to speak, next year and give us like a solid direction on where they're going. And I don't know. We all believe in James Gunn, but he's got a lot of things up in the air with the Superman movie, man. A lot of moving parts, so many characters and so many castings already. So it's going to be interesting to see. And then, of course, Fantastic Four being set in the 60s and all that. I can't wait, me being a huge Fantastic Four Doom fan, I can't wait to see how that all lands. But yeah, I'm excited for 2025 as far as I think it's going to be the biggest year for superhero movies to kind of prove themselves, so to speak. And
have they said when that? Because I know, shit. What do we have 4 Avengers films, so technically it'd be 5. The Kang Dynasty one, I know it's gonna be something else. When's that? Like 2026 is the
man.
Oh, they can't do that.
That's a good question. I'm not sure.
Shit, we might not get until like 2020. I don't know, 27 next Avengers movie. Because we haven't heard any casting or no story.
I don't know.
Like we don't.
Yeah. That's like, who are you putting right now? If you had to call it like gun to your head, who are you putting in that new Avengers movie, man? It's rough. Like, and you really think that shit's gonna move any units at the box office with like
Well,
with the choices you have now?
they're gonna. I think they're trying to figure shit out. But they did say like, or I read somewhere. I don't know if it's official that the next Avengers movie is not necessarily gonna be a team up with every character they've introduced.
No, this is the
Um,
problem I think they got into. Like, they had a vision with the first phase or the first whatever phases where good or bad, we're gonna roll out these solo character movies like Iron Man, Thor. You know, we're gonna build all these guys up and have our Avengers flick. Like, now it's so scattered and half brained, like you don't know who's on the team, and
who's
like,
yeah?
you know
Where
what I
is
mean?
everybody?
Like, you can count on certain people. I feel like Anthony Mackie's Captain America. You can count on Miss Marvel, but like
I
I
feel
feel
like
like
okay,
a whole
may,
lot
may,
of them you really can't. I don't know. It's crazy. That's
I
why
know
this movie is
that's
so
true.
important. I feel like this week.
If they see with them saying like not every Avengers would be in the next Avengers movie, or it wouldn't be a massive team up movie, it's got me like and then Anthony Mackie in the new trailer like Cap or apparently Harrison Ford's character Ross is reaching out to him to like put the Avengers back together.
Yeah.
Obviously, you have some conflicting ideas, but what if like the next because there is a title called it, and it would be kind of cool, but the Avengers 5 instead of being the King Dynasty, it's called like Secret Avengers. It's like Anthony Mackie's got a small group of like they're on some like Black Ops type stuff, like because maybe it's some of the Thunderbolts members. That's why there's the asterisk with the Thunderbolts in the title.
See, that sounds great to like comic book fans like me and you, but like to executives, they're fucking like, no, like they're looking for the big, they want that big like group hit, you know what I mean? And they're looking for bankable names. And I feel like when you talk about like what you had with the Hemsworth Thor and the Downey Jr. Iron Man, like they're really looking to like put those tier actors in those type of roles. And like, what do they have
True.
to deal with right now? Like going into another Avengers movie, as far as that's concerned, dude, like no way. So I feel
It's
like
gonna take you.
it's a long time before we see another Avengers movie. You know what I mean? Like the simple answer is just bring in Doom, bro. Doom destroys everything. You get to watch all those motherfuckers die slow. You know what I mean? And then we rebuild with the God Emperor at the helm, as it should be. I feel like that's the answer. Doom is the answer for the MCU.
What if it's well, then it would still take. I was gonna say, what if it's like the Uncanny Avengers, where it's got like some Avengers and like New Mutants, but then it was like we haven't even introduced mutants, so that would still take a few
I
years.
know, right?
to set.
Probably not. That's crazy to think about, right? So that's got to happen.
Yeah, yeah.
That's got to happen this weekend, right? Like they're going to introduce mutants and bring in the X-Men and at least
Have
some
you heard
form of it. I would
the
hope.
next saga being called like the Mutant Saga?
I have not.
Have you heard any
Is that a
rumors about
rumor?
that? Yeah, like it's like at first it was Infinity Saga, then the Multiverse Saga. Apparently, that's the rumor. That's the rumor, but
Okay.
I don't know, but I'd be interested. Maybe they do introduce like a lot of key X-Men stuff at the end of this film, MCU wise. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either, bro. So far to go. So far to go. Let's see where we're at. Warren said, "Turn up to the fight, forget where he is." With Harrison Ford as Red Hulk. Yeah, She-Hulk is not appearing. Lord, I hope not. Yeah, give Jackman his flowers, amen, dude. What a run as Wolverine, man. And just to
25
hear
years, bro.
him speak about that character with reverence and inspiration still all these years after playing him, like that's all you can ask for, man. Like that guy was my Superman growing up, so it's
What's
so good.
wild is that Hugh Jackman was younger than pretty much everybody in this chat when he first started off as Wolverine.
It's crazy, dude. And it's like
He's
I remember at some point in time I was like, was he really unknown? Like surely he was kind of famous before that. And I went back and looked it up, and he had done nothing but like Australian cable soaps and TV shows like before
Wolverine.
that. Like he was truly it was
Yeah.
truly like that Doug Ray Scott getting injured on Mission Impossible. All
Do
the
you remember
stars aligned.
Swordfish?
Yeah, of
With
course, man. How can I forget Swordfish?
but I
Dude, Halle
remember thinking
Berry,
as a kid,
unforgettable scenes.
like, that mind you, that's a year after X-Men, so it's like it's really one of his first things, and I just remember thinking like, oh, he's a big star, like I want to see this because that's Wolverine. But like you said, I didn't know he, as a kid, the first thing that popped off for him was the X-Men movie, which
That's
is
crazy
that's
you
wild.
mentioned that, and that's like a year after X-Men, because I'm totally there with you, man. Because he definitely felt like a huge star. It felt like a whole
Yep,
nother league, and even on rewatch, you're like, oh shit, Hugh Jackman's in this, like and then
didn't
of
seem
course
like
that,
an unknown.
like I said, that scene at the beginning with yeah, with him, like, his test or whatever from Travolta, man, unforgettable.
As a kid, mind you, I could not grow facial hair at the time, but I thought John Travolta's soul patch shit was so cool, bro. I thought it was like, man, I can't wait to grow one of those. I never grew one, but I remember thinking it was cool.
Yeah, dude. I love Travolta's like nuanced bad guys. So many great characters throughout time. Oh yeah. Great call. Yeah, Twin Town for Doug Ray Scott, man. That's crazy. It's so crazy to think about. Like, I was looking at an old Wizard magazine not that long ago where he was still like the number one guy
Thank
for that slot before Hugh took it over. It's
you know
what
what?
might
And
have been.
you know what fucked him over? At Mission Impossible 2.
Yeah, because like, right, he stayed on that set longer than he was supposed to and ended up getting hurt, right?
Yep.
Like somebody gave him bad advice and was like, "This is the movie to stay with, or spend your energy on," and that was
I
not the
mean,
case.
I guess at the time, looking at it, like John Woo was a successful director. He's working with Tom Cruise, a successful actor. Mission Impossible 1 was
But
successful.
dude,
You're
you gotta
thinking,
understand Wolverine, man. It's
yeah,
fucking Wolverine.
that this is before comics were mainstream. But we got to remember when we were in the trenches, dog. He heard a lot of people had that connotation of comic books. Those are for kids, So it hadn't really caught on. But I'm sure he regrets it because look at Hugh Jackman now. Surely a bigger name than Doug Ray Scott,
Yeah, for
even though
sure.
actors.
Yeah. Warren says he plays a bent cop in Twin Town. Word. I got it. Yeah, I think he's like in 1,000 different movies as that guy. You know what I mean? I feel like that's what his career inevitably is now. Yeah, Savage Avengers. So yeah. I love that. All right, so let's get into it. We didn't get into Ultimates last week. Real quick, I thought we'd get into Ultimates and Ice Cream Man before we get into this week's comics. Ultimates number 2 came out. We start out with like this all out. Did you like any of these covers? Any?
That Terry Dotson, the Cap one.
Yeah, dude,
I
it's
like that
clean.
one. Gotcha.
The
Okay,
Dotsons,
that's
the Dotsons are so underrated. I feel like.
yeah, hell yeah.
I was looking at. I have a series of covers from that X-Men Fantastic Four series they did with Chip Zdarsky right before COVID hit, and that was a great series. Like the Doom Sentinels and all that. Like Chip had some really dope ideas in that. A Doom goading Wolverine into committing murder on a Doombot who's really disguised as a Latvian citizen. Like there were so many cool like nuances. I love the storytelling in that. I feel like that's yet another comic that got killed too early by COVID. But yeah,
It's
shout out
like
to
everyone
Dodsons, dude.
been doing a mainline series for the Krakoan age got reduced to a mini series.
So true. Like I was reading, I think it went 3 or 4 issues, and I was like, man, this is brilliant. How did this not? And I was like, oh shit, COVID. That's out. Like,
Yep.
because like the way they leave it off, and it's like, then you go and look it up, and it never got picked up, or to a
Never
5th or 6th
continued.
issue. Yeah, and I was like, oh shit, definitely missed out, man. COVID swallowed so many great books, unfortunately.
To momentum
But
and so much.
yeah, it is what it is. Yeah.
Hold on,
Anyway,
can we go? My bad, real quick.
yeah,
I
no,
just
you're
want,
good, bro.
in case anyone at Marvel is watching, you guys should, your variant covers should really be your main covers. The main covers, the default A covers are too busy. The cap, look how I like the banner on the side. So
But don't get rid of the banner, Marvel. I'm sorry.
no,
I'm
get rid of the banner. I like the Ultimates 2 going down the side, like on the cap one. On the cap cover, it's like going down the side, but it's not this huge banner. See how
yes.
it blends right in?
Good
That
call.
should be you guys' covers, That's how you
Yeah.
differentiate.
Literally every other variant gets that treatment. Give your main cover that treatment. Like, and it's
Yes.
awful, Marvel. Like across the board, it makes it feel like I'm getting a trade paperback from the library or something. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It
It,
just I
it's
don't
not.
like the feeling it gives me.
No,
It doesn't.
it feels cheap. It
It
feels
does.
cheap.
Yeah, and it doesn't feel like a comic book. You know what I mean? The rest of these feel like a comic book. Like I don't know. That's a great gripe, and I agree with it across the board. I
Thank you.
felt that
Thank
way
you.
with Ultimate Spider-Man. So tighten up, Marvel. Oh yeah, Dodson Variant is great, man. Tom Selleck was meant to be Indiana Jones. Oh yeah, Warren.
Oh shit, I didn't know that one. If that's true, yo, wild. What he
That,
probably didn't get the job because he wanted to shave the stash, bro. That's
right?
I heard that's a lot of jobs for that.
Got to be malleable with that stash.
Very true.
Yeah. Anyway, we get our assault on the White House lawn. To start off this book, I love the start of this issue. I love who we get in the White House. You know, sitting in the Oval Office as well. But this was dope. You know, this mother and child scared, and then you realize like it's the Ultimates there. Cat reassuring her. Did you like the intro of this one, bro? And like you said a very valid thing during our backchat discussions. Like this should have adult overtones and be more mature and I don't know, violent even, I would say, but just in tone with what we've got before from the Ultimates books. But you know, how have you felt? I know you've had mixed feelings, kind of like me, but how did you feel going into issue 2 and the start here on the White House lawn?
This was a solid issue. That this like my whole thing is that feels so much like almost an Avengers book. You know, I don't get the Ultimates feel like, and I know it's not. They said they were not trying to regurgitate exactly what the first Ultimate Universe did, and maybe if that's the excuse not to put like imbue the hyper violence or the realism that the OG series was installed with, then it's like, what are you trying to do? Make it more like every other Avengers book you put out the last couple of years? Because that's kind of like the vibe. It's not bad, but that's like the vibe I'm getting. Like it feels like the Avengers and not the Ultimates. There's still some cool moving parts, but it's like at one point in this issue, I believe Wasp says this is like a job for the Wasp and Giant Man. Like in the Ultimate Universe, I don't, because it was more grounded. I didn't really. I mean, don't get me wrong. There was some corny lines. Some, was this A stand for France? I don't know. It just seemed like
Yeah, no. And the Ultimate
too
Universe,
superhero.
he was trying to spray her ass with Raid, and you know what I mean. Like it was a totally more complex and dark relationship
Oh,
that they had.
but and then so another gripe, but it's like, mind you, Janet and Hank just got their suits last issue, and now they're attacking the White House. Where's the training at? Like it just seems very rushed. I could use a little bit more pacing in terms of, I don't know. It just seemed all very sudden, like you guys just get your powers. Now we're going to go and attack the White House. I know you're very hesitant about it, so, Hank, especially you. I know you're hesitant about accepting this, but now our first mission, we're going to attack the White House. You know, so it's just, I don't know. I I don't dislike it, but it's not feeling like an Ultimates book to me.
Yeah, it feels rushed. It does
Yeah.
it definitely feels rushed. I think that's a great point. That art looks shite. Yeah, it's who we got? Is it Hitch on art for this one?
No,
No, it's somebody else. Yeah, man,
it's
it's
someone trying to be like, oh, you can see
dude.
the face is Coiple inspired, but they just don't quite
Yeah,
connect.
it's definitely been an issue. I think throughout the Ultimate line. Besides Peach's Ultimate X-Men, all these books have had art subs. Even Hitch, I don't think has done his best work on these Ultimates books. Like he's had some great splash pages, don't get me wrong, but I feel like if you're talking about like the Hitch work of old, and even some of what he's doing on Ghost Machine right now, I feel like it's um
Just definitely phoning it in.
yeah, and yeah, definitely phoned in. Well put. And these subs that we have with Chiquetto, Caselli, both these guys kind of stepping out on art.
And then we have
Just
unknowns filling in for them, which
yeah,
is that it in the Ultimate Universe, bro. Back in the old days, like when you had the main artist not fill in, you had a fill in. It was still in fill in artists of note, like they were a big name. Like um, I know it's probably very cost effective, but we're going from Chichetto. I don't even know what this artist has really done. I think it's like Juan Ramirez or some shit.
Yeah,
They're
I
newer.
don't know.
They're newer artists. I don't know.
But same, it's like, and they're getting all these new foreign cats because they know they can save money when it comes to paying them out. One thing I noticed with this new episode of Ultimate Black Panther that we're probably not going to get to, but that came out today. We got our new Black Panther in his new suit, and he has that, like, and we've talked about it before, that cool design that Caselli gave him with the teeth around the opening of the mouth and stuff like that. And this new design in this issue today, he doesn't have that. The teeth are gone. And every single shot, it's like this dude just took it upon himself to like redesign it. And I'm like, dude, that bothered me every single time I saw it, because that was one of the coolest parts of that character's suit redesign, man. And you're just gonna toss that along the wayside, and it's like, and then it really feels like a slap in the face, because you get to the end of the issue and it's like, oh, Caselli's back for issue 7. It's like, fuck off already. You know what I mean? Like, you just fucking, like, you just gave me a substitute artist who got rid of one of the cooler things I liked about this new story, which has been slow as shit, and you really haven't given me much to chew on as a reader.
I have to talk about Black Panther, because I have some gripes about that one, because I was trying to defend it last issue, because I thought, like, but I was like, by the end of this issue, I was like, really? Like, what? What? Like, Batman.
Yeah. It's rough, man. It's rough for the Ultimate Universe out here right now. I feel like, we got promised all these things, but like, all these things just feel like new books that got thrown under
the ultimate
bullshit umbrella and have no unifying theme / like they really don't even connect when it comes to worlds or sense. And it's like, it's going to be really fun watching them scramble and try to connect Peach's Ultimate X-Men to like this whole shit. I don't even know how they're going to do that. But dude, I feel you in the Ultimate Black Panther. I feel like it's a case of, we might as well talk about it. We're on it. We don't really even need visuals for it. It's like, I feel like it's a case of them trying to tread water because they don't have their artists or they're not making their deadline. So it's like, oh, we don't have Caselli for this, so we're going to let a couple things happen. We're not going to let any real meat of the story go down, and come back in fucking August and they've been warning us, like, okay, we can plan this 2 months out. Caselli's not going to be back for this issue. And I went back and looked, because I was like, I could have sworn they told me Caselli was back this issue. Then I went back and looked, and it was like, Caselli's back in August. So it's like, I should have known this issue would have been bullshit, and it was, more or less. And then it's like, he's going to be back on art in August. But like, at what point, like, and how are we changing the story? Like, because there was, like, this issue was definitely insignificant, but there was still some halfway significant things that happen. So it's like, I feel like they kind of trade and barter, oh, we can take these things from that story, and like, then it gets all like fucked up and like messed up, and I don't know, I just don't appreciate how I feel like taken advantage of, like, with the throwing the ultimate hook in the water, and like, I definitely bid on that thinking it was going to be one thing, and it's like completely another throughout. Like, really.
And if you weren't going to let
it's so different title to title. Sorry, go ahead.
No, because that's a good point, because it's like, if you're not going to let Hickman curate this or spearhead it, or you should have left it dead. Because it sounds like this was a passion project for Donny Cates to, he's always kind of hinted at the Ultimate Universe and referenced things from that in his certain runs of his. So it sounds like that was going to be something cool for him to do, which Donnie probably would have blew this shit out the water, because he's got obvious love for it. But, at least with Hickman, I thought it was going to be because he's been in this universe before. This is kind of where he got his feet wet in terms of super heroics, because, it was like he did Fantastic Four, but he did Fantastic Four is more, it's a different kind of level of superheroics than say an Avengers title. It was like the Ultimates. I feel his Ultimates got him primed for like his Avengers, 2 Avengers books that led to Secret Wars and shit like that. So I thought with him being back in this toy box that we were gonna be like, okay, he can make sense of the pieces he has left, you know. But I don't know. Hickman did the one shot. He did the miniseries introducing this, and then the one shot. I would hope to see him back. I was hoping he was going to do a monthly title, but what was Hickman doing besides Gods right now, Marvel wise? I know he's got the Wolverine thing coming out with Capullo, but that's a miniseries, right? Chat. Well, let's say hi to you guys. See what you guys think. We did say Fantastic Four, Bobby. Hello. Donnie. Trying to think of a series. I say Venom went pretty. Beyond. I don't think he necessarily landed the mark towards the end, but it had some momentum. He had some steam going for it quite a while. Beyond 6 issues, I'd say. He just has to have a love for it. I think he had a love for the Ultimate Universe. Jabinja.
Where you at, bro? You going through comments?
Oh yeah, I was just saying hi to people, but I was just Warren had said Donnie runs out of steam after 6 issues. I was just responding to that.
Yeah, yes and no. Like, I don't know. He said
It depends on what the property
he
is.
said some good.
I think Thor didn't last as long as Venom, but I think it was still interesting beyond the first arc. I know it wasn't for everybody, but
dude, the first 2 arcs of that were fantastic. And I felt like that was where he started to fall apart. Even with the first arc of what was the one he just had with the Wizards and the oh shit. That he had with Ryan Segment on Image. I'm sure somebody in the chat will shout it out. I thought that had legs, but it just didn't go anywhere after the first arc.
What was that shit called? It was something like edgy. It was like one word.
Warren says put a Miller cover on it and sells us. Hey, you get my money, man. Yeah, if y'all vanish, thank you, Sal. Right, it was good, right? It was good. Like the first arc or so, like really solid, and I really thought and it had all the the hallmarks of a good Kate story, but then it just fell apart. Like you can see, I feel like that and the Hulk at the time that he did with Otley, he had.
I read that late.
He had good. He had good starting bones, right? But then it just you could tell he was off that. And shout out to Ryan Otley because he really had to take over that property, late, and not only do the art but write it. But I don't know. I agree and disagree with this Fable. I feel like on certain titles he definitely has landed the plane. On others, I feel like right now his legacy is not landing the plane just because of all the titles he left kind of unfinished. And I feel like definitely with Vanish, you got the case where his name got pulled into it, even though he probably would have rather not had that book published in there. But man, I don't know. Like we were talking about before in the back chat, dude, he was their golden child. I thought he was going to be the Amazing Spider-Man writer at one point in time. You know what I mean? Yeah. I thought he would have his pick of the bullpen or the stable, as it were.
I mean, I guess it's kind of like irony, like how fast he ascended. He descended just as quickly. Because I was even when he was the buzz of the town, I was always very fascinated about how quickly he rose to that prominent it guy, because he went from writing fucking Thanos, unknown, who wants to write a Thanos comic, to fucking writing whatever he wants. Even people I say this all the time, people like Bendis Hickman, they didn't start off writing Avengers Fantastic. They had to start off with these smaller, unproven characters and make those work before they got the big toys. Donnie didn't really go through that. So I was always really fascinated about how quickly he rose. But then I found out he was an assistant at Marvel years, in 2009, 11, between that era. And so I was like, oh, my man's had connections. I mean, obviously, he's still got the gift of writing, but, he definitely networked while he was.
He did. I remember him telling that story. He got a first look at Miles as the new Spider-Man. Yeah. So we watched the same interviews. That one with the Quesada, I think it was. Where, or at least, I don't know. He's told that story before. But yeah, man. I don't know. That one with Quesada is bittersweet because his wife is buzzing his hair during the whole interview, and it's man, you can tell like that he really leaned on that relationship, and I think he's definitely lost without it. So I hope he finds his way. I know
That
how that
sucks.
goes, and yeah, dude, it does suck.
I mean,
I know
I know
he's got a lot of things going on, but I hope he finds like a good baseline again and starts to build from that. That's all you can do in that situation.
it sucks. I mean, maybe I say this because I've been a single man for so long, but it's like I know that feeling. It's like you become so wrapped up in someone that you almost lose your identity without that person. And he's probably, like you said, he like really leaned on that relationship and was very
Yeah,
driven. I
especially
don't know.
like
I never
I
got good
feel like
vibes.
in that situation, I felt like she was more stable and like I don't know, a little bit more, you know, there than him. Like, I think he was dealing with more demons and skeletons in the closet, and like
Oh
I
yeah,
just went like a step too far. And then again, we're on the outside looking in, so what do we know? You know what I
very
mean?
true.
But like, I don't know. From what I know, just following her on IG and seeing the interviews I've seen with her, she seems like she's got her shit together, man. And I feel like women are
Obviously more stable than.
yeah, definitely, and on the whole, not, there's definitely exceptions to the rule.
Yeah, it's a case by case, but
I don't
over generally, yeah, women are a little bit more have more
I,
stability
I
than.
just I don't know. I know he had demons and things he was dealing with in his past, so I hope that didn't catch up to him, and I hope it's not still catching up to him because I think he's a talented voice. Regardless,
Yeah, absolutely.
crossover did not land, man. Crossover was rough.
That's
I bought
that
way too
started off
many
so quick.
goddamn issues of that book too.
Bro. What? How many issues did it?
I feel like we all bought too many issues of
Oh
crossover,
my,
right?
bro. You know what? Next show, let's bust out our crossover variants. All right.
Dude,
I swear I've got 20 for like the first 3 or 4 issues. I've got 20
yo,
issues.
he had so many fire covers. Like, there's
Yeah.
that one. I love that one of that kid opening the book and he's like getting blasted in the face
With
with
the
yeah. Like, there's so many great covers of that book, but it was like by issue 6, you're like, what the fuck is going on? Donnie was referencing like these like long lost like Bendis group characters or something like he thought
deep
everybody would
cuts.
know. Yeah, but nobody knew. I remember he was like, yeah, that's a so and so reference. If y'all get, I was like, I have no fucking
But
idea.
see, that's what that right there, because it's niche for the most part. And it's like he was pulling really obscure like indie works, but it's like that right there made me feel like he would have knocked it out the park for an Ultimates line book, is because that he's got a love for these niche things, which you could say the Ultimate Universe was very much so initially.
Yeah,
Um,
dude, he was
I think
he was spearheading the Marvel Knights 25th anniversary or whatever the fuck it was.
Oh
When they
yeah,
had the
that
anniversary, like he was like the one like, yo, I want to
he
write
bought
something like
from
yeah.
bro. Like Donnie, he's got, and I love Century. So if Donnie appreciates Century, I can always respect that.
That's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah,
he felt like the kid I grew up next to that liked all the same things I liked growing up, that like had the absolute carnage red cartridge for SNES. You know what I mean? Like he got it. And that's what I always loved about Donnie. I understand people's criticism of him, but I think he's a great writer, and I really hope for the like he was a passionate fan, man, who got the chance with a pen, and I want to see somebody like that get the chance to write again. I think
I mean, we said it earlier in the back chats. Donnie's essentially Mark Millar with heart. Millar is a very nihilistic. Everybody he writes is a piece of shit. Very rarely will there be like someone who's a good person. Even when you were talking about Ultimates earlier with Hank in the Raid, like not to take any sides because they're both pieces of shit, but that makes Janet come off as like a good. Janet was bad dude. She's a bad person. She's like flirting with Steve in front of him, belittling Hank, not justifying what Hank did, but I'm just trying to emphasize like they were all pieces of shit. Anytime Mark Millar writes a character, they're very ugly people. They're not people you'd want to necessarily be around. So it's like Donnie, but he's got very edgy, cool ideas, and Donnie has that, but he can write stuff with heart. So yeah, Donnie. I hope Donnie's doing okay and he gets his foot back in the game, bro.
yeah,
He is missed.
we love you, bro. Come back, man. Come back. King of Black was disappointing, yes and no. I like there were parts of that I liked. There were parts of that I didn't. Baby Teeth was good. God Country,
that was cool.
God Country is great.
I like Redneck. That probably wasn't his
Redneck
best,
is
but
dope.
I thought it was solid.
My favorite book from him is Cosmic Ghost Rider, Baby Thanos Must Die. That shit is just like wild, unhinged, unfiltered fun, and it's not all
Yeah.
really about like land in the book. It's just a fun romp, dude.
And it's got heart to it too.
Yeah,
Adds with
absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely. Like you got Frank Castle as a like a cosmic ghost rider, like inheriting like cosmic spirit of vengeance. It's wild, man.
He has
Um,
such like that type of shit is where I would say like it's like Morrison mixed with Millar because he's just got such cool, crazy ideas, but he can pull it off.
yeah, absolutely.
For Black
Yeah,
stuff.
Silver Surfer Black, Fire, T Red
Right now,
more.
we're talking about mainstream books, Fable, because God Country. That's I know that's like a default, but I think that is truly like one of his best works.
That's a
Yeah.
great one. Like, yeah, and it's like that's when he like really leaned on the relationship with his father for. So yeah.
That's a big theme for
Cosmic
him.
Ghost
If you
Rider.
notice between Baby Thanos, Ghost Rider, and Venom, it leans into that strange father-son relationship.
Warren's not a fan of Millar. It's a virtue signaling cockle. All right, Warren. Damn. Warren's like Morrison. They asked Grant Morrison, are you ever trying to run into Mark Millar again? He said, if I do, I hope it's in a car going about 75 miles an hour.
There was something that I meant to send it to you guys, but it was like oh shit, Millar's been like riffing ideas off of Morrison for years, just dressing them up in ways.
Yeah.
Hit Girl. Hit Girl and Big Daddy was essentially because came out shortly after Morrison introduced Damian into the Batman mythos. Like Millar's done that for years, where he's just kind of like taken certain things of Morrison's and dressed him up really fantastical in different ways to dilute the connection. But it's there. It's there.
Yeah, absolutely. Andrew, what did I miss? Hold on, let me go back.
She probably said hi.
Let's stop the show. Oh, okay. Crossover is strong starting out.
Yeah, I like crossover.
It was all right.
I was excited for it.
There was so much hype, but then I quickly realized it was hype that was not for me. Like
now let me ask you.
So many things that they were referencing, I already realized it's like Void Rivals, right? I had to like go and do research after that
to understand.
Remember the guy with the Zipatone and the blue, like he looked like he kind of looked like the Flash or something. Like he had the blue Zipatone type of look. You know what I'm talking about? Captain something. I forget his name. But I don't like that was my first inkling that I was like out of my league.
Now, did you go into it thinking you were gonna see like Spider-Man and Batman? Because there's some people going into that shit.
No, the promise was like they were gonna. I vaguely remember the promise from Donnie being like, "Yo, it's gonna be crazy who you see show up, like the properties that got to show up in this one," and it was like some random Bendis team.
He can't do like the Wolverine Batman in an Image book.
I know, but dude, like, did we even see any like Image? Did we see Spawn?
Yeah, there was like Spawn.
Oh, Spawn did show up. Spawn showed up, at least on the cover.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. I did no power.
It felt like it overpromised in that department, like the whole cameo, the whole cameo deal.
Donnie really worded his shit carefully to garner hype and get people hyped up, but didn't necessarily. I don't think he didn't break any promises or not deliver. He just used his wording very carefully to get people really hyped.
And then I remember for whatever reason he had Chip Zdarsky guess right that one issue, and Chip wrote in like he put in a missing poster for like and he used his like government name. I was like, all right, that's fucking clever. Like I really appreciated that. It felt like really tongue in cheek, but like I felt like I was always on the outside looking in with that book.
I could feel that.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely strong starting out. And my bad. I'm sorry I missed your comment earlier on.
Hey, one could say Donnie took crossover from Mark Millar's 1985.
Ooh, I've never read that.
Oh, you gotta check. Tommy Lee Edwards on art, bro. It's this dude's like bringing over Marvel villains. He opens a portal and the Marvel villains are coming over into the real world and shit and just wrecking havoc. It's
okay. What's your favorite Millar book, bro? Do you have one that stands above the rest? I apologize, guys. We've done everything except like talk about talk about the agenda tonight. I love it.
First comic still. I'd say like I'm very fond of his Ultimates just because of like not Ultimates aged very well, but how revolutionary that was. Like I remember as a kid or a teenager, a kid now. Everyone's a kid when you hit a certain age. I was just like, yo, this should be a movie. Like I've never thought of like the Avengers and like a cinematic. The Ultimates definitely had like a very cinematic scope to it, which I appreciated. And it took, I think it might have made me appreciate the Avengers more, which made me more acceptable of the new Avengers to give that a chance, because I had collected Avengers here or there, but I always thought they were kind of corny, definitely not as cool as the X-Men. But the Ultimates put this spin on them where it's like, oh shit, like Thor could be a badass, like Cap could be really cool. He's not just this corny, but I'd definitely say his Ultimates is up there for me. There's some earlier shit. I do like his Wolverine run.
Yeah, man.
I
think Red Sun's up there for me too.
You know what? I was gonna bring. I feel like Red Sun's like the only book where it's like not everybody's a complete piece of shit in it. Like it's where it's got some kind of heart to that story.
You can tell Morrison definitely helped him out with that one.
Yes. Yep. Morrison.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like that was definitely like an idea
conversation.
That Morrison, I helped him develop, because it's not like as haberdash as Millar likes to operate, not all slapped together.
It is unfortunate that they don't. Well, Morrison doesn't like Millar. Millar's always got kind of, he's got that public speaking down. He knows how not to. He's very vague and good at hyping shit up. But no, you ever read Aztec, the little miniseries?
No.
I've only got a couple issues. I got to track down the rest. But that, that's by Morrison and Millar. And that I always wanted to check out Skull Kill Crew. I heard that was pretty fun.
Yeah, I've read that one.
That's worth checking out?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Dude. I'll check that out.
I recommend any book with Morrison's name on it. To me, is worth.
True.
Like, Millar's name, I can't say the same. But, like, if it's Morrison on there, fucking give it a shot.
Bad thing is I'll probably read anything they put out. I think it was like there's been one more Millar did, American Punk Jesus or something, that I have no interest in. But I might one day, but that's like been the only book that I've not been keen to check out for Millar. As much criticism as I give him, like he's out, like I was saying earlier, there's a brilliance to his edgy pitches,
Absolutely,
like,
dude.
It's a balance. It's edgy enough where it's like teenagers are like, fuck yeah, but then adults are like, it's a little, I'll check it out. It's got my curiosity, but this could be super edgelord, but it's enough to warrant people checking it out. So he's got a magic to him. Yeah.
J.G. Jones said that was the favorite book that was his most favorite book he ever did, was Wanted with Millar.
Really?
Yeah. He said that was number one. I said, like, what's the most fun you ever had on any book? And like JG's old, man. I saw him at Heroes, and I know he's got I don't want to put all his business out there, but I know he's got some type of chronic ailment that he's suffering from, right? So he's not like always at these cons or whatever. So I was just happy to see him in the first place. But he was such a nice guy. Showed me pictures of the new comics he's got coming out on Giant Generator and all that. But yeah, I asked him because I just wanted to know, like, so many books, like Final Crisis, dude, Marvel Boy, guy's been on so many classics, but he said Wanted was the best time, the most fun he's ever had on a comic book. I thought that was
part of me almost wishes they might have tried to hire Eminem for the original Wanted movie, because I don't know, I've heard that J.G. Jones based the Dude and Wanted off Eminem.
No shit.
He sure as shit looks like him, and he's got the blonde hair. It looks like.
Damn, that should have been my follow-up.
Was the character Wanted inspired by Marshall?
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of J.G. Jones, though, a good segue to connect into this comic. the Midas touch.
Oh yeah, man. Let's get into it. So we get into our Oval Office here. Of course, Cap is getting like throughout this comic, he's getting these like huge data surges of like American history, everything that's happened.
You know what? Okay, real quick. And this is where I think Hickman would have helped with those info pages, bro, because they're referencing certain what America's called in this world now, and it's like I'm confused because I don't know where the borders are, like who controls what territory. You know, a Hickman info page would have been very helpful
Amen,
for
bro.
something like this.
Well said. Absolutely, completely agree with that because it was jarring, kind of going back and forth. You get this like you start off with this awesome action scene, and then you get kind of thrown into this infomercial page with Steve Rogers and all the American history he's kind of downloading. Real quick, let me get into the chat real quick before we get into this, dude.
Yeah.
Fable, absolutely, bro. Thor, Black Winter, and the Donald Blake arc, man. Those first two arcs.
Yeah, Donald Blake started really good, and then I'll give you.
Dude, the Donald Blake arc was crazy. I wasn't even like a hardcore Thor fan, but I was like, this is amazing. Like doing my research and finding out the whole history on that character, that was super dope.
Yeah.
Peace, bro. Station. Yeah, Morrison believes the Matrix borrowed his ideas too. Absolutely. I mean, you look at it like who came up with the black costumes first, I think, for the X-Men, you know, like the Morrison wanted that. Morrison wanted that for the X-Men even before I think the Matrix came out, right? Like, I don't know. What was the timeline on that?
I think Morrison.
X-Men.
X-Men came out July 14th, 2000. So that means they had to have been working on it from like 98 at least. When Morrison didn't come on to X-Men until May 2001. So I think he was attached to write. He started coming up. He was contracted to write X-Men. Like
I remember him talking about that in his like thesis or his that X-Men manifesto that he wrote. Let's make them look cool. Yeah, Sal says Invisibles. Absolutely. Invisibles is a Morrison title I have yet to read that I need to read. I have not read Invisibles.
I've read like a handful of issues. I need to dive into it though.
Yeah, hell yeah. Good call, Sal. Yeah, JFK, absolutely. Yep. So like it's going back through the incidents in This America, and you got basically the Maker, like one of his cronies in place at every like shady American event, right? JFK gets shot, and you find out like King Midas is there, but he's also got a hand in letting that happen without it, you know, letting that go off without a hitch, right? So, dude, what did you think about the King Midas, right? Like we were just talking, cool. J.G. Jones, Grant Morrison, you know, the villain that first showed up in there with, you know, as our I guess main nemesis to Novar, and you know, everything that you know, the corporation that was trying to Terminatrix, of course, like the corporation that was trying to take over the world and all that stuff. I don't know. What did you think about seeing King Midas back? Like,
it's cool. Like I can tell that this dude obviously got a love for the same era that we do, like early 2000s. Midas was cool. My only gripe was that I'm questioning like the ultimates. Like when I see Hank Pym, I'm like, bro, what in the OG Ultimates? His suit was a giant suit. You know, didn't have unstable molecules and shit like that. That he had a 60-foot suit that he had to put on as a 60-foot naked man. Yeah, it was probably a little time consuming, but just added to the realism and made it more distinct. You know, at this point, these guys are just like their 616 counterparts. I don't really want that in an Ultimate. They're supposed to be different, you know, similar but different. At this point, they're the same characters though, except that they worked at a bug. They're bug murderers, exterminators.
Bug murderers. I love
you know, but it's really all that's.
Hello, ma'am. It's the bug murderers here for you.
But no, Midas was cool. I think it was a welcome addition to see him, just because he's so obscure in regular 616 canon.
Sure, right? Like I was looking up, and I guess he's shown up a handful of like just a couple of times since you know, his first debut in
Marvel Boy.
Yep. But yeah, it was cool to see him like a more official capacity here for sure.
And it works because you know it was cool that it's not like they just had him in an Iron Man suit because that's how he was in the 616. he's like, "Oh no, I just bought this shit off your dad's assets after you just got, So it's
Right?
like that was a cool little connection. I'd like to see Midas develop more. They didn't kill him, but they definitely fucked him. Did he? Did he die? I don't think he died, but I know he's fucked up. But
No, he got
he's
fucked
got
up.
he's got money and resources, bro. That goes a long way. You
Yeah, for
know.
sure. Right? Absolutely. Especially like as president of the U.S., I'm sure I doubt we've heard the last of him in one way or
Yeah.
the other. But yeah, talking about like transmutation of resources is all about wealth and explaining, the structure of the government and the world to him, and then finding out like what he has been his secret weapon all along. Right? What did you think about this review? Real America Chavez, or like I guess
Interesting.
ultimate America Chavez is being kept down in the basement, and he's been not only like getting powered off of this thing, but or
Power.
power not off of this thing, excuse me, off of her power, but he's been getting like disease curing elements. He's been like fabrics that are resistant to heat, like all sorts of advances in science, technology, and medicine that he's been getting off of her presence and her imprisonment, but he's been using it for his own financial gain, right? Like I think at one point he reveals like, she gave him, just her shirt alone gave him like fire resistant polymers that he's used to, sell the world over. And anyway, he's used all this
That's it.
stuff for, go ahead.
Oh, okay. So that dialogue, we believe she fell from the future, because I think it might have been last week in the chat, but E said he read it as it being Miss America from 616, which I thought was interesting, because I was like, oh, I didn't really think of that. I just thought she was Miss America from this universe. But her coming from the future, like I know she can travel through different universes, but I don't think it's ever been addressed as to whether she can travel through different points of time of said universe. So if that's like a distinction in this one, that maybe she can teleport and shit still, but maybe in the ultimate universe, she's a time traveler to some extent, or like not traveling to different realities. I don't know. That'd be kind of curious. I kind of overlooked that line where he said he believes she fell from the future.
Yeah,
But
it was, and he said it aptly, like the page turn when we see her, and I love how it's the star, right? Like I love the symbology there. Like she's imprisoned in this thing that's like this image that's so iconic to her. Like I thought that was super
yeah,
dope. And I love that I probably didn't include the panels or whatever, but we have Iron Lad and Cap fighting Midas up above, and Iron Lad's got this last charge, right? And he tells him to kind of dispel it, that as a like a last chance thing, and he lets it go, and it collapses this whole floor, and that's where they find America Chavez, basically like under the Oval Office in prison, right? Yeah. So and but it also like it kind of incapacitates everybody. Both Hank and the Wasp are just kind of lying there in the rubble, like everybody's done for when they find this. When they make this discovery.
And I did like because at the beginning of the comic he's like, all right, Ultimates, let's go save America, and it sounds kind of cheesy, but then when you find out he's referencing Miss America, it's like, oh, okay, a little play on words there. I can appreciate that.
Dope inclusion, I thought. Dope character to pick. I think it's definitely kind of nudged along by the whole fact that we've seen her in the MCU, and we probably will continue to do so in the future. I feel like that's why she's in the picture. It's so, I don't know. We could have a whole nother show on kind of Marvel's editorial guidance currently and why they're pushing things or who they're pushing or whatever. I feel like they definitely lack unification in that sense, but I don't feel like this is. I don't feel like it's any accident, right? I don't feel like it's any accident that we see America Chavez as being like the world engine for Midas here. But yeah, regardless, a cool series here. I like the Cap fight. I like how Cap's kind of like come out of his decompression, got his history lesson, and is like the de
Get
facto
the growing
leader
up.
of this team. Yeah, right. You know what I mean? Like, no questions asked. He's the leader of this team here in issue 2. So I like how it didn't take long. I was hoping it wouldn't take long. I don't know. Anything you want to say about the you know, the rest of this issue? I'm trying to remember what happens here, bro. I know we free America.
Yeah, Cap breaks his neck, Midas's neck, and we found out Cap's been watching the world history for like a week straight, over a week. But they rescue America, and I'm definitely curious to see where they're going. I just want to know what's the end game, or where,
Yeah. You
I
think
know where they
Cap's
should.
all right? You think Cap's all right in the head with all this rapid decompression and all that? Is that what they're trying to get at?
Hmm. See, you could do some interesting things with Cap right now, but that's what I'm saying. We don't understand the state of this ultimate world or what the exact rules of everything. Like, you could do some interesting things because, a man at a time is always an interesting story, but a man who went to sleep thinking, 1940s, mid 1940s America is completely different from our America now. A man would be jarred to wake up today. But to wake up in a world like the makers crafted, he's got to be, there's got to be some, like, everything he thought he was fighting for went to shit completely, like it was all a wash. So you could do so. I feel like he'd be in a darker headspace than your average Cap. I'm
Yeah.
still hopeful as usual, but I mean, it's interesting to see Janet I guess she's can grow big in this as well. She's going to be giant woman.
Yeah, I
It makes
guess
sense
because
then.
she was yeah, last week we saw her, she was smattered on the broken concrete though. So glad to see her with old boy over her shoulder carrying him to safety. Yeah, we'll see, man. I don't know. I don't
I don't know why Sif was brought into this at all, bro. Like,
Where is
is
she
anyone?
at, bro?
I mean, but she was in the first issue, and
Oh
they think
yeah.
like she's going to be a member of the team. Like, do we
I just
need
think because it was like she was left over from the what's it called? The Ultimate
the
Universe
Asgardians?
series. Yeah, like the Ultimate Universe series too. Remember she was in that for a minute?
But that was she? The
Yeah, she was with them when
Oh no,
when Captain Britain stabbed Thor in the back with the sword. She was right there, and she's been the one since
yeah.
then. Like, but where's she been since then?
But and that's what I'm saying. Why couldn't Thor just be the only Asgardian guard left? Like, yeah, I think they have like a plan for her story wise. But I'm just like, if not, why did Sif survive? Like, what is she
That's a good
gonna
point.
bring to the book?
Yeah, that's a great point. I don't know, man. I don't know. Unimpressed, kind of, with the
A little let down, but
Ultimate
I'm sticking with
Universe
it.
at this point. Yeah, we're gonna stick with
Yeah.
it. We got Chiquetto coming back on Ultimate Spider-Man and Caselli coming back on Ultimate Black Panther, but it's just like I don't know. Have you read the new Ultimate X-Men? I haven't.
No, did it come out today?
Yeah, I think it came out
Okay, okay.
this week.
I'll check that out.
Yeah. But yeah, man, I don't know. It's just
It's just stringing us along.
yeah, it just doesn't have that vibe. All right, let's real quick see what the Sal says he's looking forward to Ultimate Hawkeye next issue. See, I keep thinking about
Ah,
the Hawkeye from Avengers Twilight when he says that for whatever reason. If you want to know the end game, that might be the sign that we got a compelling book in our hands. Yeah, we'll see.
as X-Men, you feel that about Ultimate X-Men? I know. I want to know the end game for that.
Yeah, she's overseen Thor since Asgard still sees him as a traitor. Oh no, be interesting. We haven't seen her in a minute,
But do we need her to oversee him? Like, can't we just know that Thor is banned from Asgard? Like, do we need another Asgardian in the? You know what I'm saying? Like, is Sif really necessary to the
yeah.
story?
She was like
I don't know the
a
story.
night nurse in this whole story. Basically, she helped Thor back to health. All right, real quick. Since we're already at an hour and 20 minutes, let's go over one of the Ice Cream Man 40 is an experience in itself, but I thought we would go over one of the new books for this week. And we're going to go over some of the new books next week. Batman Dark Age, I know, is definitely going to be on there. But dude, Void Rivals 11 dropped today. I thought we would include that with the show just because we've been all over the place. Link, did you get a chance to read this one, bro?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Did you do you enjoy this one? This is one of my favorite issues so far, bro.
Yeah.
Do you like this one?
Yeah, no, it's like everything is starting to come together. Great pacing. It was over, but not in very briefly, but not in a bad way. Like I read this in Black Panther, and by the time I got through with Black Panther, I was like, "That's it," you know. But this one, I was
So
like, "Oh shit,
true.
cool, the ball's
Yeah.
moving, we're moving pieces."
Yes.
Yeah, fun book, bro. Still continues to be a great book, great cast of characters, beautiful art. I tell you, I didn't think I was gonna still be following Void Rival. Not that I didn't like it, but I was like, I'm checking it out. But I actually enjoy Void Rivals. When you said Void Rivals, I was like, oh shit, that's out again already.
Yeah,
Shit, it felt like we just covered the last issue, but never a bad time. It's a great issue.
I feel the same way, dude. And it's like, it's a book I look forward to, like more so than Transformers or anything else from the Energon universe. I genuinely look forward to a new issue from this title, and seeing it again, and like I keep seeing it go higher up on the most pulled list on League of Comic Geeks, so that always makes me happy.
Hell yeah. Bro, Derek and Salila are some fucking new great characters, bro. Like,
and dude, like you said, man, it does so many things well with character work, even if it's just a page or two for characters who aren't even the main throws of the book issue to issue, like they did with Skuxoid in this issue, or like the Tri Terminator or try whatever. But like those little pages move the story along in significant ways, but without like committing too much.
Very brief.
Yeah, to time and space. I think it's fantastic. It's so well done. Like I've said it before, I'll say it again. I think it's the best written, best paced. Really, like I wouldn't say best drawn because Transformers has been phenomenal, but I feel like as far as like writing pace and story, like it doesn't get any better than Void Rivals.
Very consistent
when it comes to the Energon universe. Yeah, so I'll make sure you check it out, man. Especially if, like me and Link, if you're not hardcore Transformers heads and really don't know the game like that, this is a great book to like keep in touch with, and it gives you like little bits and pieces that it's never too much to digest or look up after the fact. So highly recommend this book, man. I love the issue we pick up at the start, like as we picked up from last issue, like this battalion has approached our Transformer and Derek and Salila. What's this guy's name again? Springer, I believe.
Yes. Yep.
And so, I love how Springer transforms, automatically turns into a helicopter, fights the planet's anti-gravity or weird gravity waves, gets them far enough to where like they can kind of regroup and do their own damage. I love Salila dropping off the helicopter, right? And like, him being like, well, she's in a rush. She really doesn't weigh for much, right? Dude, I was laughing my ass off through the first third of this issue. It's so great, bro. I love Derek's, like the focus on Derek, his narration, struggling, all the.
He's like, at least let me know the guy, bro. Like I was just imagining in my head where like Derek's struggling to shoot shit, and Hendrik's like, let me take over, man. Come on, I'll hit some more shit than you.
Yeah, absolutely.
There was a great line towards the end. I'll just say now. Remember when she's huff. He's like, yes, I too am exhausted from fighting so much.
I have that highlighted as in his own slide, but yes, I too am exhausted from battling our enemies so hard. But this is where it starts right here. He's like, they're fighting this battalion, right? And Springer comes up and fucking like just kicks the tank. He's like, you kicked the tank, hell yeah, right? And he's like, bro, can you try to do half of what she's doing right now? Like, because homegirl dropped off the helicopter early, and she's like, look, they're mindless, like they're mindless drone soldiers, right? Don't kill them.
Don't hurt them too much.
Don't hurt them too much. Just like knock them out, right? And I just love how, like, bro, can you pull your weight just even a little bit right now instead of cheering me on with your bullshit? I love like the comedy.
This scene reminded me of Endgame when War Machine and Nebula go back and they have to steal the ship and Star-Lord's dancing and shit. And he's like, so he's an idiot, like that's the vibe I got from this scene. He was like, So he's a coward too, huh? You know?
Totally, bro. Totally. Absolutely. Um, yeah, but even in that, even in these like comedic moments, I love how they pack the humanity in, right? Like he accuses him of being a coward, and he's like, "Look, he's a lot of things, but he's most certainly is
That's
not
one
that."
thing. Yeah.
I love, and
Not
I love, like you said, man, it's these little moments like this that build the character between not only like Derek and Salila, but Springer and the rest of the world. There's so much so many crazy heavy things that happen in this episode or this issue, which you think would you would glance or brush off
but it's
like
significant.
on your first reading. Yeah, but like
Yep.
these things are gonna have a big role to play like moving forward. Anyway, being trapped in this this area before and in this like this dump, I get this like forgotten mining depository or whatever. Derek is able to jump into this like mech bot or what this mech mining bot, right? And he starts tearing through some of the infantry, but he eventually strikes out. He tries to kick a tank and it doesn't go well for him, right? He gets the big old clang. I love the letter work right there.
Yes.
Great, such a great clang. Because it doesn't go well for him. His legs shattered. He falls over. And of course, Springer's right there to drive the sword through the tank. Fine, you win. He tells him. I love that.
You proved
I love
your
that
point.
moment. Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
But yeah, everybody's on the retreat, right? They have won the day. I too am exhausted. I too am exhausted from the part I had to play at this in this fight. I love that. Anyway, we get a great big turning moment here, right? Like and this is what I love. We go from comedy to some like real drama right here because homeboy really changes the game, really, essentially in this one scene. Like this is going to shake things up in ways that's going to reverberate across probably every comic book in this universe. I would think, right? Yeah. He's got the enemy running away. He's like, wait, and he's like, he tells Springer the Transformer, he's like, give them the data that you gave us on the Energon and what it can do for these people. I've seen them; they're starving. I've seen it with their own eyes. Right? I love how his humanity comes out.
Yeah,
and really wins the day. And I've seen it, and we get this great visual of all these people just literally starving to death.
It was a moment like you were saying earlier with like the whole Salila where she was saying he's not a coward. Like that's letting you know right there. It's such a brief moment, but it's showing you how much respect she has for him because she's a very blunt character. She's gonna call how she sees it, and she's kind of giving him shit sometimes. So Springer's up here like, oh, he must really fucking suck because she's kind of treating him like an ass up at this point. Derek, but when push comes to shove, she's like, yo, he might be an idiot, an asshole, but he's not a coward. That shows she's got a degree of respect for him. And then in this instance right here, it shows that this, he's just a dude who wants to do the right thing, bro. He didn't care about all the politics. He was like, this is all stupid. Like this is pointless. We're all the same. Especially as he breaks it down, he's like, after what we know, we should be on a totally different level than everyone else. Like we have knowledge to know better. We're not ignorant to the lies that have been told to us by the higher ups of our people. He's like, we know better, so it's like we should be doing better. When he didn't have to do that, because she's kind of been so far. Salila has been very much for her people and her mission. Where Derek, who's got the advantage, his people are in a better position, could easily say fuck her, but all he's done is really try to work with her, and we know from the beginning. So I think he's starting to come around, or she's starting to come around to him, like that. And this issue exemplifies that in a lot of different ways, in subtle ways at that.
Yeah, well said, bro. And I love that his crazy has got to be met with some crazy from the opposing force, and just like not only with him but with Salila. Like I love how this guy's like, huh? Like he tells these guys are literally running from their wife from a fucking giant ass transformer, and he's like, wait, and this guy has the balls to be like, wait, what? What is he talking about? To turn around, and this is gonna not turn the tide, but this is gonna cause some huge ripples, right?
Oh yeah.
And I love that here Springer's like, I'm not gonna hurt you. He picks him up, and Handroid's like, this is ill-advised, this is treason, and Derek's like added to the list. You know what I mean? Like I love his moral compass, man. Like you
Yes.
said,
Yes.
such a great driving force of the story. And it's been beautiful to watch Salila kind of like witness it and be changed by it in her own way. Not to forget, like this woman just got impaled by her own spear a couple issues ago and has come back from that. Like got that super awesome energon healing scene. Like she's been through a whole lot of shit herself. So
Talk about true
dude,
grit.
and I love how we get here. He's like, ever since that moment where, of course, bro's in love, right? She's not ready to admit it, but bro's right there. He's like, that first moment when we took our helmets off, girl, I just knew. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
she's not ready to like fess up to all that. Obviously,
She's a
we'll
little bit
get
more
to it.
stubborn.
Yeah, and we'll get to it at the end of the. She still has one more secret that he knows, but that she's trying to stick with. That we'll get to at the end of the issue. But yeah, he tells her like seeing seeing your face, knowing that what we know now about the energon and it being a connecting thing between our cultures, and that we both can be healed from it. And I'm not going to sit here and watch people die, and I want to. What does he say? I want to save as many of them as we can. And like,
Okay, yeah, he's like, it's not your
right?
people or my people. He's
Right.
like, they're just people, like we're just saving.
There's
Yeah,
no
there
difference
we go.
between us, right? Yeah.
Yep.
And like, what's this deep dark secret that they're trying to keep to keep us apart? Like, fuck all that, right? And I love this moment. I'm sorry. He's like, "What? Are you about to knock me out again?" She's like, "No, I'll never do that again." I just
He's
love
such a
that
forgiving
little
guy,
exchange, right? Yeah, absolutely. And like right as they're kind of like reconciling, the soldier they held back, like runs through them with the new data packet the Transformer has given him. He's like, he'll understand it even if he can't. The scientists in your civilization. Well, you got scientists, right?
Yes, science, right?
Yeah. In the meantime, like you said, dude, get a nice little 2-page Skuxoid. We learn Skuxoid is on his next mission. He's being watched by somebody, right? And somebody has a high opinion of him, noting that his ambition is unmatched. So he's going to have an evil part to play, in this in the coming chapters. And I love that because he's already had a part to play in this Transformer finding out where the rest of this I don't even know what to call these folks, bro. I guess like
the quintessence, I think.
The quintessence or whatever are hiding out, right? So Skuxoid has given this Transformer, and I forget. I meant to ask Fable to give me any of y'all who know who this Transformer is. Let me know. But yeah,
that's
pink and
not
yellow
Spitfire.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, they show up on the trail based off the information that Skuxoid gave them about this being the spot, and then kind of take off from there. And of course, their ship is getting tracked since doing that. Like I said, this is like towards the end of the issue, just a bunch of little 2-page sets that give us updates and meaningful info and storylines on where these characters are going next. Our boy Proximus, as the battalion heads back
rising
home,
out the dead.
right?
Well, he wasn't dead,
straight,
but
literally.
Yeah.
No, you're right, bro. Literally coming up out of the sands, holding onto the tank, getting a ride back. Our boy's all right, and he looks more put together than I thought he would. After he got stomped out, like I thought he was.
My man's got
kibbles and bits for real. Yeah,
he got impaled by that Transformer sword. He like lost arms and legs. I thought, I was like, yo, but no, like you said, I was like, oh, my man's is a trooper.
He's gonna be a problem. And like, can you imagine if this guy gets hold of the Energon secret, right? And this is what the part I like is right here before he grabs onto this tank. You see our guy who got the data packet and he's reviewing it. So if Proximus gets a hold of this information and learns like how quickly he can be regenerated, bro, it's finna be a problem. If that one dude could give one Transformer that much of a headache, man, and him at like full power is going to be another thing entirely. So interesting to see how that all works out. Again, we get to the end of our issue. Our boy a boy asks him, he's like, "Yo, do you mind if I get one of those data packs for my people?" He's like, "No problem." And he's like, "All right, sis. Now that we've gotten everything out of the, out there, what's up with that green key you've been hiding, right?" And she like freaks out. She pulls a spear on him, doesn't know how to react, and tells him like, this is when we must part ways, right? So she's not willing to admit her secret. Of course she's going to next issue.
He's
and
such
tell him,
a good dude, because me right
right?
there, I'd be like, I could have watched it anyways while you were unconscious. I
I'm
respected
about to
you.
say,
And, I could have handed this over to my people. I could have not told that dude, giving him the data pack for the Energon. Like, come on now, what's with the secrets? Like,
seriously.
do we have a common
So-
goal or not?
What do you think is the what's up with the green key, man? What do you think the story is there?
I think, like I said, I think it's like got plans on or something that will fuck over Derek's people in the long run and give her people the edge, which is what they've been looking for. And like I said, she's been very, I don't know, maybe coy or she's been, ambiguous she'll help Derek, but only as much as he helps him succeed. While he's trying to help everybody, he is growing on her, but there is an element that she's kind of still she has a mission she's trying to follow through with. And everybody is a means to an end at this point in that aspect. I think she's starting that look right there where she says we must part ways shows you that she's slowly starting to feel how Derek is feeling, but she's trying to stay focused on her mission, which I think is ultimately probably it's gonna have something to do with like fucking over his people, and giving her people the edge.
Big thanks.
Yeah.
Sorry, y'all got the hiccups there for a minute.
Mhm.
Yeah, I definitely think it's I don't think she's gonna die on this hill, right? She's gonna like give in and tell him what's going on, and they're gonna find some way together. But dude, I don't know. This is like a saga type build out for me. Like where I'm gonna be by the time like we really get to the grit and the realness of what's happening to these characters, is gonna devastate me in ways like I'm not ready for. You know what I mean? I feel like, Derek's gonna die in issue 73 or some shit. You know what I mean? I feel like Void Rivals is really like we're on 11, man. I'm all in.
Damn, 11 already?
Yeah,
Man.
and it's like it's so good, and it's just Transformers is great. Don't get me wrong. I've read every issue of Transformers and most of the rest of the universe, but nothing has me invested like these two characters and their relationship and where they're gonna go.
Absolutely.
And where they're going to end up and what it means for the universe as a whole, man, because
they got the whole intergalactic Romeo and Juliet almost thing where it's like these people are not supposed to be lovers or
great call, bro. It is. That's exactly what it is, bro. It's the Capulets and what's the other name of the family? Dude, shout out to Baz Luhrmann's Leo.
That's
and,
what I think,
my god, we
when
need
I think
to do a whole show on that movie like that.
Someone needs to cover that in the near future.
We don't even cover movies, but we might need to cover that.
Right. We're gonna make an exception for that one. Bro, man. But yeah, I need to Mercutio.
The Montagues, Capulets, and the
Montague.
John Leguizamo. I should have known better.
Spit curl shit with the sideburns. My man.
Jamie Kennedy, like so many. Such a great movie. But yeah, it definitely has like those universe type building vibes, and I'm here for it. I can't wait to see where it goes. I can't wait for it to wreck me, man. So shout out Void Rivals. My favorite out of the Energon universe. Amen. Yeah, it's like you knew if Kirkman was going to be on it, it was going to be something special, and with the way they're going, like with the breaks they've taken already, with D. Felici is going to draw every issue of it. It's going to be like, I really think it's going to be Robert Kirkman saga. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, bro. Man, we love this one. So, there's a lot of great new issues out there from week to week, but nothing like I don't know, man. The ones that like really, the ones that really stand out and like that you really get excited for. I feel like are worth talking about. So I want to keep talking about this one. I think that's going to do it for us this week. We're at 1 hour and 40. We could go just real quick, man. Y'all go check out Precious Metal. Just look at this
Worth
artwork,
it.
right? The story is a little thin, right?
Yeah.
It's on some Golden Child, who has control of the Golden Child type of shit. But y'all, this artwork, not a fucking panel, not a line wasted. It's incredible, man. It's the type of book you can sit and turn and spend like 3 hours with just looking at the art alone.
Him and Raphael Grandpa, bro, are just they remind me of each other in the
Yeah.
best ways.
Yeah, but Ian Bertram really I don't know, putting himself in another category with this one.
No, yeah, I was gonna say Bertram's definitely. I think he's got the edge but they definitely remind me of each other. Yeah, with especially I don't know. I don't remember Little Book or Little Bird. Little Bird was I enjoyed that, but I enjoyed the art, but I feel like this one he's really leveled up. I was just amazed, like every panel. Like I respect original art, but there's very rarely where I'm like, I want to own that. Like there's some pages in here I was like, I would love to
Oh
own
my
that.
god. And it's like you see it on Felix Comic Art because I follow them on Instagram and get their newsletters, and it's gone within, like I think issue 2 sold before, like, it was even out, like to their collectors. But yeah, it reminded me of the first time I discovered Mobius, bro. Like reading issue 1, it was crazy, Bobby. Completely agree with that. Yeah, Japanese horror manga. It's got a little bit of everything, man. Honestly, but the character designs are so unique and crazy. The colors, like, look at the colors in that, man. That's what I'm saying. It's like sometimes you get some great pages in the in these comic books, but the artists take the backgrounds off or just kind of mail it in. There's not a single line mailed in with this one.
Correct.
And this is just all some of the highlights from issue 1. I'm not even going to give you all issue 2.
One of the pages I would love to own, actually, right there.
Yeah, right, dude. There's like even just this page from I mean, so incredible.
Oh yeah, reminds me of like a
The Dreamboat
storybook. Yes.
Yeah, it's fucking phenomenal. So shout out Ian Bertram doing some career defining work for real. His what did Fat Joe say? Yesterday's price is not today's price. That's what
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
my boy is out there getting it. So shout out to Ian Bertram, man, killing it. Bro, great show. We kind of like went all over. I think we only covered like really 2 comic books, but man, this was
a great conversation.
Yeah, dude, great conversations as always. Y'all, please come through. We're gonna have so many members of the PCP family hopefully next week as we celebrate 1 year of Supreme Clientele. Me and my boy Link. So y'all, please come through and join us. We're gonna do some special giveaways for some of our day ones. We love y'all, Sal, Enja. Y'all make sure y'all come through.
It's gonna be good coming from us too.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be curated. So
yes.
Yeah, man. Hope y'all come through next weekend or next week and see us at Wednesday 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Link, anything you want to say to people before we get out of here tonight, bro?
Thank you guys for joining us as always, and be good to yourselves and be better to others.
Hell yeah. On that note, station, y'all. Make sure we'll both be on Verno tomorrow night. What's the name of the movie again? I forgot already.
Blowout
or
Blowback?
Blowout. Nope. Blowout. Brian. I've forgotten Brian De Palma flick.
I had never even heard of it.
Starring John Travolta and who else, bro? Yeah, I'd never even heard of it either.
Stood out for me. I know that I forget the actress's name, but I was so shocked. I was like, Travolta was in a De Palma film? Like, what?
Yeah, dude,
what?
I consider myself a De Palma stan, and like I was disappointed in myself not knowing this one. So, yeah, y'all come through and yeah. Oh, thank you. Enja's on top of it. John Lithgow's in that shit.
Oh shit!
Oh, let's go, dude. We were just talking about Dexter the other day.
Yeah.
That guy saved Dexter. So,
yes, he did. Yeah, he did.
Shout out John Lithgow. Anyway, we love y'all. Come through next week, man, for 1 year of Supreme Clientele. Until then, y'all be excellent to each other. Station.